Hi everyone, Ricky here. Welcome to a meditation, probably about 15, 17 minutes. And this is a very special meditation for me. It's on karma and sovereignty and maybe even forgiveness, which is what I call the F-bomb in our life. Forgiveness is so powerful. And as a matter of fact, it is, in my view, and all the teachings that I've studied, forgiveness is the end of karma. We don't have any more karma once we learn to forgive. So it's largely why we're here, just to this in this spiritual school on earth. So you can click on the playlist now. Make sure you're in a really comfortable seat and let your eyes close. We'll take some breaths just kind of synchronize together. Empty your lungs. And then inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale, nice slow breath like that. And the breath will help us to really ground and connect. So you can feel your belly move in and out. Maybe feel the air going down your throat or in your nostrils, or maybe it's causing your ribs to expand a little bit. And if it is, I would invite you to have more of a belly breath. Just take about 3 more. This is you, your mind becoming aware of your body. And next we start to integrate the third part of us, the biggest part of us, our spirit. And with the mind more still, we inch a little bit closer toward that. So your breath can be on autopilot now. I invite you to sit in a really a proud way. Strong sitting bones pressed down. Your crown of the head will lift as you press down with your hips. And that biggest part of us, that spirit, yoga taught, as ancient Hinduism did, Gnostic Christianity did. Law of One, some of you know, is my favorite spiritual teachings. A Course in Miracles and lots of other teachings teach that we have had past lives and that we incarnate again and again because we have incurred karma. And it's not that we've come here to be punished for bad karma or anything like that. Karma doesn't work like that. And the word karma just means action. So you can think of it as a pendulum. If we push the pendulum far to one side and we release it, it's going to need to balance out. So even if you're kind of new to reincarnation, maybe just entertain it for these few minutes, because it's not a really popular concept in the West as it is in the East, where people are taught from childhood that reincarnation exists. It can be a little bit more difficult here in a Judeo-Christian society, even though, as I said, Gnostic Christianity did teach of this. This was the Christianity before modern Christianity. So just entertain that for a moment, and then I'm going to introduce something here known as soul agreements or soul contracts. And a lot of times we are incarnating with others in our, quote, soul family, end quote. So we come back again and again, incarnating and we help each other. All souls serve one another. So it's a service to others. And in these soul agreements, they can be pretty varied. Sometimes maybe your husband or your partner or your wife or your daughter or your son, business relationships even, sometimes we incarnate together in order to help each other evolve spiritually. And these can be easy relationships, maybe to be deeply in love with someone for a week, a year, or a lifetime. And to remember how that experience has helped you to grow, has helped you to spiritually evolve. The more interesting lessons are, however, the ones that are difficult. And when, I should say, before we incarnate into physical again, we're on the other side of what's called a veil. And when we are in physical, we're on this side of the veil, and we've forgotten how that connection with spirit. It's something this is where the kleshas in yoga come from. The cause of all suffering in a human being come from 5 things. And the first one is that we've forgotten who we are. Called ignorance. So I'll invite you to, at least in your imagination, remember that you are a spiritual being and that you greatly desired to incarnate into physical, wanting to serve others. More than likely, there are service to self beings as well, but the great majority are service to others. And also because you desire to learn certain lessons, or you wanted to evolve, you wanted to learn. And as I said, there are sometimes service to others, service to self beings as well. And when we are on the other side of the veil, when we are all connected to the One, to God, to Source, however you define that, when we were on that side of the veil, maybe we wanted to learn something about forgiveness. Because we can't imagine on that side of the veil not forgiving anything. We cannot imagine, because we're all connected. We're all in service, the vast majority in service to others. We would never do anything to harm another being. In other words, never do anything needing to be forgiven. But here in physical, things are a little different. So on the other side of the veil, it's possible that you had the great desire to learn more about forgiveness. And you asked one of the beings in your soul family, in this incarnation, in this existence, would you help me learn about forgiveness? I mean, I really want to learn how to forgive. I want to know what this is like, because I can't imagine it on this side of the veil, because there's nothing to forgive. However, that being that you asked, because they are in service to you, to others, they are happy to do it. However, remember that for you to learn about forgiveness, they would need to do things that would be seemingly unforgivable to you on this side of the veil. So imagine the person, or bring to mind someone that you've needed to forgive in your life. Whether it's happened now already, or you're still working on it, it doesn't really matter. And from this perspective of soul agreements and karma, reincarnation, incarnating into physical, maybe bring a different perspective to that relationship that you've had or do have with this person. And remembering that maybe, actually it's very likely, that you did ask them to help you with this. It's not the case in every case, of course, but the principle still applies. Because there are beings who did come in to serve the collective by being in service to self. And those service to self beings need a lot of forgiveness. And in the bigger picture of karma, they, like we, need to forgive ourselves as well, which is always the trickier one. So with all the madness that's going on in the world right now, I invite you to look at that from what we're meditating on today. So all the people that maybe you feel are doing, we'll use the word bad things in the world, try to look at it, if you like, from a higher perspective. Maybe they had soul agreements to come in and serve humanity and serve as either the service to self beings, which, like you, have the desire to help humanity heal, and also the service to self beings who actually came in likely to serve humanity, to help wake it up, to help it to heal, to provide the catalyst for us to awaken. Because we are taught by many teachings that humanity has been caught in this karmic loop for many thousands of years. And when we look at things from this higher perspective, sometimes we can. It was a very, very powerful realization for me several years ago. We realized that in forgiveness lies the end of our karma. We are free from karma. So the trickier one, of course, is ourselves. So I'll invite you to reflect for a moment on something that you're having a hard time, or did have a hard time, forgiving yourself for. And place it in the perspective of the lessons that your soul desired to learn. And it should be getting a little bit lighter for you now. And there's a little mantra that helped me, that I kind of made for myself years ago, and maybe it will land for you, and that is, I am no longer that person. would not do that thing which I'm having a hard time forgiving myself for. I would not do it now, because I've learned from that. So I am not that person anymore longer. I am no longer that person. And maybe this will help lighten things for you. And if it's a handy little tool for you, anytime you're feeling a little heavy because of some guilt or some shame, or these other illusory things that we bring on ourselves in order to learn lessons in this lifetime, in this experience, maybe remember that little mantra or some version of it that works for you. I'm no longer that person. I'll invite you to stay as long as you like there. I deeply have the desire to be in service to others. And I'm pretty sure you do too. There's another thing we could meditate on and go through. There's so many millions of souls came into this planet at this time to help it wake up and break out of that karmic loop that we spoke about. And I believe you're one of them. Start to be aware of your breath again. Reconnecting with your physical body, possibly with a slightly different perspective on the relationships you have with people and with society and the planet in general, and specifically. Let's take a big breath in. Let it out nice and slow. Push out a little extra air to really feel your body here. Thank you for spending these 17 or so minutes with me. And in case you don't know, I miss you and I can't wait to see you guys. All the love, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.